Okay, next on the agenda is 501 Glen Road. Landscape changes to 501 Glen Road. And parenthetically, there were previous decisions on this,
And they've been missing for years.
which
Here they are.
Ann found today.
Woohoo.
So we're modifying.
Okay.
There was a decision in 2000, there was a decision in 2001.
Is that like one of the early decisions? Were you on the board then?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wow, you are such a dinosaur.
Yeah, I know. Don't. So what we're doing is modifying that the previously amended certificate from May 2nd, 2001.
Okay, so
There-
you want us to, I mean, I can pull that up on here, and you've got 2 copies there?
No, there are 2 decisions, actually.
Oh,
This afternoon, I emailed you guys copies of it.
right,
So you should have them somewhere in your email.
yeah,
Ann just found them today.
right,
The previous information was that nobody could find them.
right.
There are stipulations on landscaping, which is to have been installed as shown on an approved landscape plan. John, if Ann could find that landscape plan,
I think we looked at the registry of deeds,
yeah,
we had the decisions, there was no plan.
all right.
We'll
This
continue.
is the-
Yeah, let's see if we can find it. It's been around for a while. It was dated this, June the 6th, I'm sorry, June the 12th, 2000. So maybe it's out there.
Okay, I have it.
You have the landscape plan?
The old one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I've got actually the decision.
Right.
Oh.
I've got the plan.
Okay.
I have the decision.
We're cleaning up the files, so it's possible it's still downstairs.
Okay. If we can find it, so much the better. If we can, we'll have to start from scratch.
All right, well, let's.
Okay. Had a sidewalk on this, again, on Tuesday morning. The people who made that sidewalk, could you raise your hand? Okay.
I did an A, I was a vote.
What was is the proponent here to talk about it? To talk about 501 Glen Road? No? No.
Wow. That's
All right.
interesting.
What's your comment there? Yes.
Yes, as well as the landscape architect and the owner.
Michael Wasser.
Yeah. And I'm looking,
Kim, could you describe, is that the site plan?
Yeah, there's existing.
Could you describe what they're proposing to do?
Sure.
and proposed.
So this was, the landscape was installed probably around 2001. There's a couple of large blue spruce that are eating the front of the house that they want to take down. There's a dead tree here, which I don't even know, maybe it was a maple. There's a maple here that's planted on top of the leaching field.
Okay.
And there's a sugar maple here that half of its crown is damaged and dead, so.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of Norway maples all throughout the buffer here that you can tell just kind of been self-seeding and growing because they're at various heights and calipers now. So there's a new owner, they wanted to come in and kind of clean up the landscape.
Okay.
Originally, we had hoped we could kind of approve this administratively, but because there's so many trees to come out, we wanted the board to take a look at it. So
Right.
they want to remove these 3, the 2 spruce, and kind of edit the buffer with removing the Norways that will allow the oaks and the sugar maples to kind of thrive once the Norways are taken out of there. So their proposal, oh, they're also slightly realigning the driveway, just the radius of the driveway here. It's a pretty minor alignment. And they're bringing the pavement in here, so overall, the square footage of the pavement is actually being reduced. They're adding in another red maple here off the leaching field. 3, I think those are hornbeams here. And
taken
oh,
out
sorry, a
that
hornbeam
tree.
here. Yeah, adding a hornbeam here. This is a Chinese fringe tree, so it's a non-native, and they're putting in a native, and then they're adding in 3 service berries here. So what they're taking out for sort of mature trees, they're adding back in with natives. Editing here, editing in the back, and then adding in where they're taking out some things back here.
What are they adding in over there?
Here is more service berries.
Okay. And then there's a bunch of,
Yeah,
looks
with
like
some
lower things
shrubs.
going
Yeah, I
there.
think it's just understory. This is pretty dense here and here,
Yeah.
so I think it's just an understory planting.
Yeah, this is like a 15-year-old landscape that was never cared for.
Pretty well overgrown.
Yeah, it's pretty dense.
My guess is that there was a no disturb area probably delineated in the initial landscape plan. That's what I think is probably
The
the
back backs
situation.
into conservation
Yeah, so
land,
there's a
right? So there's
fence
a definite
here,
thing
Yeah.
right
and
there.
they're not doing anything on this
In the
side
back
of
of
the
the-
fence, because there's a wetland
The
here.
the edges seem pretty well defined, and they're not moving them,
No,
you know, like,
Yeah, yeah, it's like the no disturb area is where all the Norway maples are. All
Took
the
over.
seedlings have gone to.
That's interesting.
They are also doing a little bit of grading. They're bringing in,
4 inches over,
there's a little
200 square
depression
feet.
here, right?
I think, you know, if that, and they might not even do that by the end of the day. They just bought the house in December.
Yeah.
She's renovating the thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, 50/50 at best if like that minor regrading even happens. I mean, that's gonna be like the last.
Yeah.
So can, anything happening where they're taking out the spruces?
Yeah, so there's a couple of nice ornamentals. There's a magnolia and I think a cherry or something.
Going
They're gonna-
in?
No, they're
there.
staying.
Oh.
They're just, they've been horribly pruned. so
Yeah.
They have some real potential.
Right,
to stay.
and then they're keeping a lot of sort of the nicer azaleas and such, but then they're putting in a new foundation planting, so it's gonna be cleaned up. and-
So how do you tell what's already here and what they're putting in?
I think what he did is he put a brand new foundation planting through here, but when we were
Almost.
talking to him on site, there were some azaleas and things that he was gonna try to save.
So there's a lot of new stuff compared to
Yeah.
this.
But there are some things in there that are worth saving.
You have to understand how big these Colorado
Yeah, they're
blue spruces are. They're enormous.
They take up that entire
Yeah.
area.
But does he distinguish between what's existing and what's gonna be new planted, or?
I mean, color coded like.
Yeah,
Well, or-
he
or-
does.
but-
7
okay.
existing azalea to remain, so that's these.
Okay.
Existing magnolia to remain, so it's in the
Okay.
notation.
Got it.
Existing dogwood to remain.
Okay. Are we gonna, essentially, what we're sort of considering here is releasing the restraint on the no disturb zone.
Are we?
Well, are we?
Well, has anybody seen the plan? I mean,
Do we know, do we know
Yeah.
exactly?
But I'm guessing that's why there's a zillion Norway maples in here, because, you know, it was supposed to be no touch. That's not it, that's
oh,
the,
that's not it. Where's the one, where's the decision? Is there any?
it just
Any
refers to the
notation at all?
landscape plan.
We don't
Or
have
does
It just says it's gonna be planted in accordance with the landscape plan.
And
Well-
I was been looking, I haven't seen one.
And as we know, we, Concom and we like them to remove invasives if they can.
Absolutely.
So there's no.
My point being this isn't about, well, you know, that issue so much as it is about what happens 15 years down the road
Mhm.
to requirements like invasives in a no disturb zone. I mean, this is kind of, it's sort of saying,
We have, but I.
here's the evolution.
Yeah.
Should we start to begin to think about ways to address that kind of thing?
Yeah.
I'm just
Didn't we
guessing.
do that? I thought we've already done
Yeah,
that.
like on Laxfield.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, like,
We did
it's like
We
bittersweet or
did, but it's
poison
not,
ivy.
is it one of our standard requirements now?
It should be, if it isn't.
Should be.
I
because-
think it should, yeah.
Yeah.
That they should have the ability to clear out invasives without having to come back to us every single time.
Mhm.
So we should, if that's not a standard condition, we should
Mhm.
really consider making it one,
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. We probably ought to call out what the most noxious massive basics are.
Right.
Just so,
Then
that-
you
yes.
get to, then you should stipulate what that includes.
Rather than, yeah. Oh, like those little.
Sugar maples, they're invasive.
Yeah. Oh, little red maples are such a pain, and they do seed. but they're-
We're faced with that question all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that would be a good thing for us to have a
The
policy.
condition for maintenance.
Right.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, then we don't get into this, but it looks like, I don't know how many they're thinking about taking out.
There's a lot being removed here, more than just what you mentioned, but I assume that they're minor.
Yeah, they're all Xed out. You can see the
There's a
X's.
ton
Because all this removed
small
might be
pound
considered
areas.
any
These
growth
are
of
all
maple,
grown
remove
into
damage
another,
to.
this is half dead because there is a red maple here that he's trying to preserve.
It really is
So it's-
editing.
It really is.
Yeah.
But that's, we could refer them to the invasives list and support, but then that's 2,000 things long. It would be nice to have the top 10 invasives.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably like list the top, it might not even be 10, and say, by no means does this mean that these areas are not to be,
Well, the things that are.
these areas are meant to be naturalized, but you're allowed to remove the following invasives.
Maybe we could actually take a stab at that with this amendment. If that, maybe that could be your homework assignment, to write that condition so that, you know, we establish what kinds of things can be cleared without having to come back to us.
I think you did it. last
Okay,
week. I
well
think
then
we just
maybe
pulled that
check
out
back.
And checked out.
Easy homework assignment.
Yeah.
And we'll just call out the big number ones, and like you say, not inclusive.
Right.
Okay, good.
All right.
Only other thing that doesn't pertain to the planning board is they will have wires in a pole in their front, literally in their front yard, centered on their front door.
Okay.
And so she's working with the NSTAR to get like a pole here and a pole here so that they can run, you know, cross and then run it across. And she has some leverage because they don't have an easement or anything for that.
All right.
So that might actually happen. She just asked, she's like, would we care? And we're like, only in that, it would be nice.
If it's in the right of way, is it? It looks like-
No, it's not. The pole, the guy wire is right in the middle of her front lawn.
Right, but if the new ones, it looks like the new ones would probably, may not be may actually be in the right of way, not in the yard.
I mean, she'd work out with them, and
Okay.
if she put them on the edges of the yard, she'd give an easement. I mean,
Right.
that's probably what they would want, because their feet are being held a little fire because they don't have anything worse than this.
Yeah, maybe that's another condition, that if the poles are relocated, that we just should have something on the record that indicates that, because right now, this is what we're gonna be showing, that one pole.
Would they have to come back to us for polls?
I
don't
No,
think so.
So why would we even bother to mention it?
Well, just because we
Ones
could
that update.
file it,
Yeah.
if there's a
Oh,
change.
okay, so just
Just
file
modern
stuff.
plan.
All
Right, for the record.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah.
I move that we accept the modification to the site plan approval for 501 Glen Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Oh, we did say lighting modifications.
Oh, are there lighting modifications?
I thought there wasn't any lighting change. Everything was dark. sky.
Well, everything allegedly, she said. There was that one little issue. It was below our lumen count, and everything she thought was dark sky compliant, but I think Betsy told her, or somebody said they weren't, even though it was claimed by the manufacturer. That was at the end of the walk, we were back, and I said, what's going up here and on the side of the house? And she said, nothing new, it's just the same exact spots, replacement with dark sky.
So confirmation.
Yeah, it would be nice to have the cut sheets.
So we can, why don't we just ask for that? I mean, and
Right.
Yeah.
Administratively, we can just handle it. I mean,
Okay.
they're putting a lot of effort into kind of trying to do the right thing.
They are,
Straighten
yes,
down.
yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
it's gonna be great.
So are you guys on top of that, those two conditions? That they're gonna submit cut sheets for any replacement light fixtures for the record?
Yeah, allegedly, they already have.
You can just get them again.
I think this is all we got.
I'm sure they've got it.
Okay.
And then the other thing is the condition, if the pole locations change, then just resubmit the site plan for the record.